Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bitter Rivals podcast. This is episode 75. We are entering the Christmas season. Yes, we are at the three-quarter century mark, which is a little bit outrageous that we've hit 75 episodes. We can't believe it.
Outrageous move.
Yeah, we can't believe it. And to anybody who's ever listened to this podcast, and anybody who's listening right now, thank you so much. Because without anybody listening, we wouldn't be at 75 fucking episodes. So... yeah, that's fantastic. So thank you very much. And boy, do we have a lot of Leafs content to deal with today, don't we? I don't know, Leafs Nation. Anybody catch that Saturday night game against Calgary? Did anything good happen? Did anybody see that game?
No.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. What?
I said no. Nobody watched it.
So I'll tell you what happened. Austin Matthews continues to do the same thing he did last year in the month of November, December kind of area, which is score a goal every fucking game. Mitch Marner extended his point streak to a new franchise record, 22 straight games in which he has 30 points. William Nylander, the kid born in Calgary while his father was playing there, scored a career-high 5 points last night, 2 goals, 3 assists. The Leafs won a game in overtime for the first time this year last night, which was absolutely fantastic to see. And I really want to talk about the strategy, because it was a hell of a strategy. I don't know if you saw what happened, and
this is like 1,000 IQ strategy.
So he starts David Kampf, who is one of the best defensive. He's not very good offensively. He's actually, believe it or not, he's number 6 on the team in 5v5 points, behind the big four and Michael Bunting. So believe it or not, David Kampf actually has been very good offensively this year, considering his standards. I think with his last year in Chicago, he had 1 goal. So. Let's just put that out there. But anyway, they start him with the Swedish defensive duo pairing of Timothy Liljegren and Rasmus Sandin. So what happened was Rasmus Sandin takes a stick in the face 3 seconds into overtime, and we ended up with a 4-on-3 power play. When asked after the game about why he decided to start those guys, Keefe, deadpan, goes, "Well, I just knew Rasmus was the most likely to take a stick in the face." So now you get the 2 defensemen and David Kampf off the ice, and you bring on John Tavares, William Nylander, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner for a 4-on-3 power play. You go from those 3 to those 4. That's just so funny to me. Like
I do understand the strategy. It was the same one the Habs used a couple of years ago, where Phil Deneau would start. Because you just go, win the fucking face-off and get off the ice.
And actually, it's funny. I saw on Twitter, I forget who tweeted it. Sorry for not being able to credit it at the moment, but somebody was watching the Marlies game, and they said that the Marlies did that. They started with 2 defensemen and a centerman, and then as soon as they won the puck, all 3 of those guys get off the ice, out come the 4 big guys. They did it earlier the same day. Yesterday, the Marlies did it. And the guy who tweeted it, again, I forget who it was, said, "Was that Sheldon Keefe asking them to try it out for them? And because it worked, are they going to do it?" And they did it. It was beautiful. It was art. It was perfect. So anyway, last night was a wild game. Also, another thing I have to say about last night, Daryl Sutter can shut up. Like, what are you talking about, man? So did you hear what he said after the game?
Yeah, the penalties thing. Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, I'll tell you the stats. Over the last 3 years, the Toronto Maple Leafs have the most penalties and the most games suspended against them in the National Hockey League. Both. They lead both. So you're trying to tell me that the refs and the league favors Toronto? Are you are you just going to pull shit out of your ass, Daryl? Because you're obviously not looking at any stats, man.
I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but does that... I know you guys are 28th in penalties drawn. What does the home record look like? You know what I mean? Just games at home. Is it any different, or is it just
I'm not sure. I don't know, but I don't think that makes a difference. The refs aren't from Toronto. These are refs that travel around North America to referee hockey games. Doesn't matter where it is.
I just meant that maybe pressure from the home crowd to call more penalties. You know what I mean? But
I see what you're saying, but I'm sorry, Michael Backlund was beaking over a cross-checking penalty that he took. He cross-checked Austin Matthews directly in the rib cage.
Yeah.
Like, what are you arguing about? I don't see what the fuck you think that. Like, I'm sorry, I know, but what are you? What are you arguing? You cross-checked him in the rib cage. That's happened to you before. You know how much that hurts. You know why we can't have that in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not to mention, Calgary literally had a goal going in the third period that went in. I agree, it should have been a goal. I'm not exactly sure what the rule book says, but you had a goal that literally went across the line after the whistle was blown, and you're going to say that the refs are going against you? Come on.
Yeah, no, that was a good goal.
It was a good goal. I completely, I agree. The only argument that I have to say is as soon as that whistle goes, though, players stop playing. As soon as that whistle goes, players stop playing. Mitch Marner could have gotten his stick there, but he stopped playing because the whistle had gone. He was standing right behind the goalie. Him and Justin Holl, I think where they were standing right behind the goalie. All they had to do was tuck it back under the pad. But the whistle had gone, so they stopped playing. That's the only argument I have to say. And the other thing I'll say, last night was Matt Murray's first bad game, and that was a bad goal. That shouldn't have went in. That was terrible. To be completely clear here. But still, the puck went in after the whistle went. It crossed the goal line after the whistle was blown.
Yeah.
That is all I am saying. But even though that happened, and even whatever Daryl Sutter thinks the refs are whatever, like, are you kidding? Also, what Simmons did after your boy Stone cross-checked our star player in the back of the head wasn't worth 2 minutes either. Also, Bunting getting hit in the face with the butt end of a stick behind the net on the Austin Matthews high stick that was a 4-minute. That was also Michael Bunting getting the only roughing call out of that. Outrageous. So I don't want to. That's insane to say that the refs are against Calgary last night. I'm sorry, it's just crazy. You took 7 penalties because your players committed 7 offenses.
Well, they probably committed a lot more offenses. They only got penalized for 7 of them.
So anyway, rant over. And I guess I don't really need to rant because we won anyway. So whatever. Let's talk about the defense. Let's talk about the fact that Morgan Riley's still not back in. Jake Muzzin, we don't know if he'll ever be back in. Those are both guys that were supposed to be very important pieces of that top 6 D-core at the beginning of the year. TJ Brody came back. He's been back for a couple games, and he's back to being TJ Brody, which means I barely hear his name, and he just does good things. I think it's become very, very clear that Timothy Liljegren and Rasmus Sandin should probably play together. They're very, very, very good together. Like, I know they're both small Swedish guys, but they do two very different things. And it's awesome to see them work together. And the other thing that I know you're thinking is they're not very big. Rasmus Sandin would be a black belt in jiu-jitsu the way he knows how to use his weight. Like, he just... the reverse hits, cutting guys off on the boards, rubbing guys out. He's so good at those things for a guy who's, like, not even 6 feet tall. Like, he's just a strong Swedish... You know, like...
Shithouse, yeah.
like, just great. Like, you love to see it. Like a Cronwall. How's that?
Oh.
Like a Cronwall. Like, maybe not. He's not going to Cronwall guys like he did. But that's the kind of player that he can be. And what he is showing that he is right now. Like, he has been so good, man. And him and Liljegren work so well together because Timmy's he makes such a good first pass. And he's also so good in his own end, Timmy. So you can see, and then you got Rasmus who can score goals. He plays on the power play. He's that kind of guy. He can skate, maybe not as well as Timmy, but he can skate. They just work so well together. So, and the other thing too, I think is very important. They can't play third pairing minutes. Those are guys that are only going to be successful if they're playing top 4 minutes. Does that make sense?
I think so. Yeah. So
when you take minutes away from them, it almost takes them out of the game.
So what would you have your like top 6 look like then?
Right like now,
fully healthy.
Assuming Jake
Muzzin's
back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Morgan Riley, TJ Brody 1-2. I have Rasmus Sandin, Timothy Liljegren 3-4, and I have Mark Giordano and Justin Holl, who I have to say have also been unbelievably good over the past 6 weeks or whatever it's been since Justin Holl had his tough start. He has been so good, and Mark Giordano is a 39-year-old machine. Like, I don't even know how he's doing what he's doing, playing the minutes that he is, but he is. And Yeah, I think that after you get your Morgan Riley and your TJ Brody back and everybody's healthy, minus, like we said, Jake Muzzin, hopefully he can come back at some point, but I don't see it happening. I think it's fair to a guy like Gitano to say, okay, Gio, enough 24, enough 25-minute a night games here, buddy. You're going to just chill out, relax. You get paid $900,000, and we're going to utilize you on the third pairing. And Justin Holl, that's where you're going to go to, and you're still going to play penalty kill. Don't think that you're not going to play penalty kill. That's where you're going to get more minutes, but you're going to be a third pairing guy. And that's what I think we need to do, because that's, from what I've seen, that's like one of the best, like, if they play like they've been playing for the past 6 weeks, that's the best defensive fucking core in the league. It just is. If Timothy Liljegren and Rasmus Sandin keep up what they've been doing, Justin Holl and Mark Giordano can keep up even a fraction of what they've been doing, and then you get TJ Brody and you have Morgan Riley on that top pairing, that's the best defense in the league, and you can't tell me any different. It just is. If they play like they have been, it just is. Find me a better one.
So my brain immediately goes to Tampa and Colorado. I don't know them like super well off the top of my head, but like, you're looking at 3 cup finals in the last 3 years. Tampa, I don't think the decor has changed too much since then.
Yeah, it has. And another thing,
like
we're talking
the mainstays of that decor are still there. And I know Victor Hedman's super out of form this year. He's not fucking good.
Not been good at all. Trust me, I have him on my fantasy team. But yeah, no, right now I put that decor up against anybody in the league, and I put like the top 4. Like I mentioned it earlier in the show, but like you can't find me a better grouping of 4 forwards either on any team in the National Hockey League. You just can't.
Can we go back to the defense for just 1 second? Because I saw this discourse going around on the Twitter, on Leafs Twitter over the week, and it was the still need to pick up defensemen at the deadline for a cup run.
No way.
Okay, so that was one part of that. I wanted your immediate reaction to that.
No way.
I want to talk you through the Habs 21 trade deadline and the cup run, where we had our top 6 was sorted, but we went out and we got Eric Gustafsson and John Merrill just to play, like, just basically as extra bodies. They played a game here and there in the playoffs. Is that the type of, because that to me is what the Leafs probably need if they want that deep run, is the Gustafsson and Merrill.
We have it. We just picked up Connor Timmins, who's been playing also, like, he's been a very, very impressive piece. Connor Timmins, so that's the equivalent to a guy like John Merrill, or who did you say, Gustafsson?
Yeah.
So that's that, and then Victor Mete, he can skate. There's been lots of guys who can fill in that Jordy Ben can fill that role. Somebody, if they absolutely, there's no contest, they're going to go for a D-man, I think they should go for a guy like Luke Shen. But nothing more than that. Like, I don't think we need to make a Chikrin deal.
No. And Gustafsson and Merrill were not.
No.
Those were like 4th and 5th round picks, and some maybe an AHL player getting traded. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. Oh yeah, I just wanted to feel that out with you there.
Hear me out. Wouldn't it be better to do one of these 2 things? To grab a just deadly 3C or a left winger to play with either Marner and Tavares or Nylander and Matthews. Probably Marner and Tavares, because Nylander and Matthews have bunting.
Well, I think one of those or both of those and an extra body on D aren't mutually exclusive.
Hear me out. The St. Louis Blues suck this year. They're terrible.
Tarasenko. You want Tarasenko, don't you?
No, I don't.
You want Ryan O'Reilly. I
want Ryan O'Reilly to play the 3C.
How many years does he have left on his deal?
Who gives a fuck? We have a very, very, very good chance to win the Stanley Cup this year. Do whatever you can. Like, Ryan O'Reilly, 3. Imagine that's your 3, like, your fucking bang, bang, bang in center. You got Austin Matthews. Then out comes John Tavares, who's on a resurgence here. And then out comes Ryan O'Reilly. pretty good. It's all
That's
right.
literally something out of fucking like be a GM mode and fucking shell.
That's like an Olympic team, man. Like, and then Mitch Marner and William Nylander are on the wings for two of those lines. And David Kampf, one of the best defensive forwards in the league, is gonna switch to a wing position on that line with Ryan O'Reilly, and you're not gonna be able to score against them. You are not going to be
You're
able
not gonna touch the puck against them.
like, yeah, actually, it's funny. Defensive touches in the league. I saw this stat. Defensive touches in the league. I forget who number 1 is. Number 2, 3 is Matthews Marner, and number 5 is David Kampf for defensive touches in the league this year. I forget the other. I just see blue sometimes when I look at stats. And
I know.
I know. Like right now, when I look at the save percentage leaders, and number 2 and 3 are both Leafs.
Jack Campbell wouldn't happen to be on that list, would he?
Actually, I was looking at the list. He's actually 58th in a league that has 32 teams in save percentage. Yeah. What did I say? I know I reiterate this every week on the show, but what did I say at the beginning of the year? I'd rather take a chance on a guy. Remember, they've both been injured lots. Rather take a chance on a guy who's a little bit younger. He's won Stanley Cups. He's only got 2 years on a deal instead of 5. Less money. I'd rather take the chance on Murray. They're both injured all the time. This guy's got 2 cups, though. I believe I said that. We can roll back the tape. I said it.
I that's just too much work for me in the edit. I'm not going to roll back the tape, but I know you did say it.
I did say it. So anyway, dude is looking pretty smart right now, isn't he? Because Jack Campbell isn't even playing. He's literally on the bench.
He's
for a
so
guy
bad.
whose name is Stewart. Nothing against Stuart Skinner. He's been very good, and according to all the talking heads on TV, he's going to be very good for a very long time in this league. And actually, it was Jamie McLennan who said that. And I actually do have respect for what he says. He seems to know what he's talking about, specifically with goaltenders. But Dubas is looking pretty good right now, and actually my father's been making a pretty good point. I didn't see Dubas for about a month on TV. Saw him the first month of the season, every game, the camera would pan up to old KD. He'd be up there. Remember the expletives, the memes that came from the KD shots earlier in the year? Didn't see him for a whole month until last night in that third period when it was tied 4-4. Interesting. Where's all those guys who said it's time to fire him? Because now all I see is it's time to extend him.
I think that's still a little early, but...
Really? Find me a GM who's done a better job since he's been in the league. Who's been consistently as good as the Toronto Maple Leafs have been. Maybe not playoffs, but regular season. Let's talk consistency over, what's it been, 4 or 5 years now? Who's been that consistently good for the past 4 or 5 years? The Toronto Maple Leafs. We're talking a top 5 team in the league every year.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, the goal isn't to be a top 5 team in the regular season every year. The goal is to win a cup. I think anything less than a first round exit, or sorry, like getting through the first round, and he probably doesn't resign, or they don't offer him. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it's time to re-sign Kyle Dubas. I don't think it's fair to blame him for the playoff failures. And we know how it works. It's a 7-game series. Sometimes things just go, and you can't even lie. Like, okay, maybe Montreal and Columbus probably should have won those series, 100%. The rest of them, dude, those are very, very good teams on the other side. Like, we're talking teams that almost every one of them ended up in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
That we lost to in the first round.
Well, you can include the Montreal Canadiens in that as well, by the way.
There you go. And we still should have won that fucking series. And you know that.
No.
But yes, absolutely you should have won that series.
You played fucking 3 of the worst games of hockey I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I can't even. Yeah.
You can't argue that. Like the Leafs were not good in those 3 games. But anyways, that's a fucking 2 years ago argument. We don't need to bring that back up.
Yeah, and there is a difference in the way that the team is winning games this year. Like, you can see a lot of growth and maturity in their attitudes and the way that they carry themselves, both on and off the ice. And I think that's a key difference that Leaf fans should be paying a lot of attention to, because I think that's what's been lacking, is maturity and really understanding situations and understanding that there's different ways to win hockey games too. And even the ones that you don't play well in, you still need to find a way to try and win that hockey game. You can't just fucking go tits up. Like we did against Montreal. When we realized things weren't cooking, we just gave up, right? You could see it. You could see it. That's why they were 3 of the worst hockey games that we've ever played after going up 3-1, right? Yeah. And they just aren't doing it. Like
you saw it in the All or Nothing series. Like you saw the room. Like they were done.
They were, yes, absolutely. But let's just go look at this right now, just for a second. The game last night, that's a classic Leafs loss. That's a classic Leafs loss, but they found a way. They found a way to tie it up in the 3rd period, take it to overtime, and win. They found a fucking way. Wasn't their best game. The star players, Mitch Marner called that game a mess. A penalty-filled mess. Chaos. They won.
Yeah, the Leafs typically don't win those games.
Tuesday. This past Tuesday, we played the Dallas Stars. We beat them 4-0. Shots were like 44 to like 25 in favor of Dallas, man. But we found a way to win. We beat them. They're one of the best teams in the league. We beat them. Right? Whether it's because Matt Murray stood on his head. I'm not going to lie to you. That's why we beat them. Absolutely. Matt Murray looked like prime Hasek out there. Like, but it doesn't matter how. It matters that we won. Right?
Yeah.
These are just games that the Leafs would have lost. I actually didn't get a chance to watch the game last Saturday that we talked at, like the Tampa Bay game. But and another thing that drives me nuts is the narrative that you can't lose to bad teams. Like when we lost to Arizona earlier in the year, how bad were we getting shit on? Like everybody was just shitting on us. Am I wrong?
Me included.
Yeah. Well, Boston just lost with 13 seconds left to Arizona at home. So
did they also not outshoot them like 40-something to 16?
Did they win?
No.
Exactly. I thought good teams weren't supposed to lose to bottom feeders like that. That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told for the past 2 months.
It's been longer than that, eh?
When it happens to other teams, when it happens to teams in black and yellow, black and gold, whatever the hell they want to call it, I guess we just don't talk about it. But when it's blue and white, you can't let that happen. You just can't let that happen. Do you hear how, do you see how insane that is?
Oh no, Ave, I know it. I know 100%. But I also think, I mean, on our end of that, part of it is that TSN isn't going to get as much viewership and numbers from talking about the Bruins losing to Arizona as they will with the Leafs losing to Arizona, right? Yeah. So, so we don't hear it as much. Maybe like the local media in Boston's maybe a little harder on them. We don't see it a lot. But like for us, we don't see it because, frankly, we don't care about the Boston Bruins. Fuck them.
That's fair. That is 100% fair. Yeah, I don't know, man. As I've been talking, I haven't even let you get a word in about the Habs, and it's pretty much because they're mediocre. But
hey, we're fucking just over 500, which is, again, like I say that and I'm like, haha, laughing. It's great because we should be a lot more dog shit than we are.
Well, see, it's funny, right? Because a lot of the talk that you hear about the Habs is that they're a very, very fun team to watch.
Yeah.
And it looks like they play very, very fun hockey. Want to know who it's not fun to be? A goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens. You guys have some of the worst defense, like team defense, I think I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, like a big part of it is we have, for the most part of the season, we've been rocking like 4 rookie defensemen, which
Dude, you're
not
talking
ideal.
I watched a decor that was led by Ron Hainsey like a couple years ago.
See, but like at least Ron Hainsey has NHL experience, and I'm pretty sure a cup in Carolina. If I'm like, oh yeah, fuck it. But yeah, like there's a difference between that and 4 guys with who started the year with a combined 0 NHL games, right? Like that's
that's kind of the role that you're signing up for as a goalie for a team like the Montreal Canadiens, a team that has so much young talent and raw, especially on the, like you said, the 4 guys with a combined total of 0 NHL experience. So you know what you're getting yourself into if you're Sam Montembeault or if you're Jake Allen, right?
And like props to Jake Allen for signing a 2-year extension over the summer. Like he signed up. He knows what he's in for. He knows the job that he is now doing, which is, keeping the Canadiens competitive in games while we are not good. And that's a massive a testament to his character, that he's just he knows he's not going to win a cup here in Montreal now, and he's accepted it, and the role he's taken is fantastic. And someone needs to do it, and I'm really glad that it's him doing it, because he's very
exactly somebody needs to do it, right?
Yeah.
Still an NHL job.
Yeah.
That's the way you got to
rough
think
week
about
though
it.
for the Habs though.
Yeah, how did things go this week?
So, first of all, it was a rough week for Habs fans. 2 fucking 10:30 puck drops on Monday and Tuesday night, back-to-back 10:30 puck drops. Brutal stuff. So we played Vancouver on Monday
Tuesday
night.
not a fun one though?
Tuesday was fun because we won. Monday night sucked. Massive ones. We got 4-0 in the first against Vancouver.
Oh yes, that's what I'm thinking about.
This game. All right, so I'm not joking. I'm talking with the boss as I'm leaving work Monday night, and I'm like, Habs play at 10:30. Unless this is like the craziest hockey game I ever see, I'm probably like not making it through the first intermission. Like I was gonna fall asleep watching the game. And he goes, you can always hope, right? Yeah, sure. Habs got 4-0 in the first. I'm like, I'll fucking step. I'll watch this game. And then we fucking blow it. We go down 5-4. Come back, go up 6-5. The Vancouver ties it with 6-7 minutes. Not even.
To Vancouver too.
Yeah, they tied it up late, and then we lose 13 seconds into overtime. 1:30 in the morning, game ends. I was pissed. But that was just, I think that a lot of that was just two really not good teams, and somebody just had to fucking win. But then we got on Tuesday, went to Seattle and won there for the first time. We got the Wright versus Slafkovsky show, which was not. I didn't think it would be the main event. You know what I mean? Neither of them are at that level yet. Shane Wright did score his first NHL goal. Good for him. Yeah. And then last night lost to the Kings in Montreal. Again, played okay. We just lost to a probably better team.
So
you want to?
How are you feeling? Yeah, it's less about Shane Wright and more about Slafkovsky. That's not a first overall pick, man. He's just not. He's that's I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it, especially when I see Habs fans telling us that we're bad at drafting. I've seen that on Twitter several times. Is Habs fans?
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there and say I don't think the Habs are great at drafting either. So this isn't a me versus you argument here.
No, I completely understand that, but I want to set the record straight. I won't be told that Kyle Dubas is bad at drafting from a team that took a shitty Josh Anderson at first overall. I just won't, and that's his ceiling. His ceiling is a worse Josh Anderson.
I see. So this is, I don't think that's his ceiling at all.
What is his ceiling? Tell me an NHL comparable for his ceiling.
I think he's got a lot of potential to be a top line player. Be a super productive player, a guy his size. I hate, and this is well before the podcast, before anything. I hate fucking shitting on rookies. Because look at Jack Hughes. For the first 3 years of his career, he was fucking dog shit. He was a bust. What a waste of a first overall pick. And now look at him. He's fucking great. because you got to give these kids time to like grow into these things. You know, it's a totally different game playing, you know, in Europe or in the CHL or in college, going to the fucking NHL. Like, it's a huge thing. And I can't just fucking sit here and shit on like anyone, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still think they should have taken Shane Wright, and I think it was an attitude problem, to be completely. They didn't like his attitude, but I don't see what is to be desired in Slafkovsky's either. Like, to me, he seems like an arrogant prick, to be completely honest with you. Like, I don't think there's much to be desired there either. So I don't see how that affected the decision making, because to me, Shane Wright has a much higher ceiling as a skill hockey player, as a leader, as a center, as a captain. Like, he has a much higher ceiling from that respect. And I don't think Slaf's attitude is much better than this kid's. And that's where I'm coming from.
I get that, but like when you have like Craig Button and like all these like guys who've been scouting for like that's their literal job is to scout players, going like, yeah, like Slafkovsky.
Are you actually going to use Craig Button right now as
I'll
a
use
reference
Craig.
point?
I'll use Craig
Craig
Button or
Button is useless.
any scout, like any like who Bob McKenzie's thing. You know, 5 of 9 scouts had Slafkovsky over Wright.
Yeah, no, but that was before what we've seen since that draft, right? Like that's.
Well,
and
well,
I'm
we
talking.
you can't
No,
change
but I'm
things
talking
after
about
you
from what I'm
draft.
I'm talking about from what I've seen from that point till now.
Okay.
Like when Slafkovsky showed up at camp and sucked and said, "I think it's because I need new equipment." Like, that was hilarious. That was pathetic. It was pathetic. It was like he was complaining about a week and a half, like his draft party from a week and a half. He was still tired from the draft party from like a week and a half ago when he showed up at camp. It's like, what? That is the most outrageous excuse from a rookie I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know. Like, here's the thing. Like, I'm not gonna fucking shit on this kid, man. Like,
I am.
That's the thing. Is we could look back on like, and this is like the whole thing with the draft is you can look back and go, oh, they fucked up, should have picked this guy or that guy. Like, you can go back years and look at fucking like mistakes in drafts, because you fucking hindsight's 2020. I think.
Well, I know. I just at the time I was like, at the time I said they should have taken Wright, right?
100%. Yeah, no, and
I think that that's how it's going to end up too. Like, I think Shane Wright's going to be a better hockey player. I think that the Kraken got very, very lucky, especially considering he slid down to 4. Like, that's I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird scenario.
So I've still seen nothing from Shane Wright at the and mind you, he hasn't played a lot in the NHL either. He's spent some time in the AHL. I don't even think he started the year with Seattle.
He went on a conditioning stint, and he was getting healthy every fucking second game. So we went on a conditioning stint down to Coachella Valley, which is Seattle's affiliate in the AHL, and I believe he went down there and for 5 games, and I think he scored 5 goals. Like, he scored a goal every single game that he was down there, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think he scored 5 goals. I think he had 5 points. I don't think he had 5 goals.
Let's look it up. Coachella Valley Firebirds, because he was like scoring in every single game that he was down there, if I'm not mistaken.
2 seconds, because I don't remember hearing that.
I'm just pulling up the elite prospects here.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so he had 5 games, 4 goals. Okay.
5 games, 4 goals. Sorry.
And then so in his 8 NHL games so far, 1 goal, 1 assist.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, like I haven't seen much. I haven't seen anything from him thus far that would make me go like, we should have picked him first. But again, he's only 8 games into his NHL career. Slafkovsky's only what, like 25, 26 games in? Like,
yep. And Shane Wright, it should be mentioned, has also been loaned to Team Canada.
Oh yeah, that's disgusting.
So our top line at the World Juniors is going to have him and Connor Bedard.
Bro. And then like there's Josh Roy, who's playing out in Quebec. He's like a fucking like 2-point-a-game player in the queue. Habs draft pick. Jeez, that team, Ave. That team better score like 35 goals a game.
But I'm pretty sure the States is like also nasty.
Oh,
so
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think that's who they're projected to play with is Brennan Othman, who's also got a ridiculous amount of points in the O this year. Dylan Gunther has been loaned also. He's been playing in the NHL all year. He's going to play for them from Arizona. Adam Fantilli has been elite for Michigan.
Yep.
Like, talk of him maybe creeping into first overall pick over Bedard discussion. It's not going to happen, but possible.
If he goes at 2, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Frank Clark is going from LA. He's been playing the NHL for LA. He's going and playing for them. Like,
this is literally going to be like 05 all over again.
Yeah, I don't know why we're getting this many. Yeah. Jack Batier, returnee from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, will be playing for Team Canada. He played last year as well. Yeah, they're going to be disgusting. They're going to be disgusting. Like, absolutely ridiculous.
Matt, you want to know who I'm super excited to see at that fucking tournament, though? Lane Hudson, the Habs draft pick.
American?
Yeah, I think so. Like 99% sure.
But has been this team's
absolutely
crazy.
Absolutely dominant in fucking NCAA right now. He's at Boston in 15 games, 6 goals, 11 assists as a defenseman. And your buddy there with the fucking the graphics, I forget what they're called. Like the comparison ones for the rookies.
Okay.
Or for like the draft picks. Like they're just disgusting. He's like broken the model.
Yeah.
He's
actually,
so fucking...
want to hear something crazy? The U.S. national team, they won't take players from anywhere but the U.S. NDP now, like the National Development Program, because Ty Voigt is like leading the OHL in scoring by a significant margin, and they didn't invite him to the World Juniors.
What the fuck?
Like, Ty Voigt this year, in 29 games, has 51 points, and he did not get the invite. Toronto Maple Leafs draft pick. Because he's playing for Sarnia. He's not playing for the U.S. National Development Team program. Isn't that crazy? Or in the NCAA. That they want guys from either the NCAA or their program. Nowhere else. They will not take guys from the O anymore. The best junior team in the world, or best junior league in the world.
Would they take an NHL player who was loaned to them?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. Isn't that crazy that Ty... And there was another one, I forget his name. He's got a Russian name, but he's American. He also is, like, he played for them in the summer tournament.
And they just went like, nah.
And he's been unreal in the O this year, too. And they didn't invite him either. It's like, what? Like, he played in the summer tournament, like... I don't know. Weird situation. Anyway, we're pushing this episode to its limit, so we should probably get to fill in the blanks.
We're only at 38. We're only at 38.
Oh, okay. We must have started later. I see the hour here. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Let's get to fill in the blanks anyway.
Fill in the blanks. We've only got a couple for this week. We'll start with the obvious, the big one. Mitch Marner's point streak is going to end at blank games. Currently on 22.
Currently on 22. I think he pushes it to 25. That's my... If I was a sports book right now, I'd be setting the line at probably 25.5. And I would take the over. He's going to hit 26. I changed my mind.
I don't know. I've made some gutsy predictions in sports the last couple of weeks, especially with the World Cup. So I'm going to go 29.
You're going to say 29. See, the thing is he's just been so good everywhere. Like, the thing is about...
Actually, wait. Let me... Who do you guys play your next 7 games?
Here, I just have to pull up our schedule again. Leafs play the Ducks.
That does change. That does change what my number might be.
The Ducks gonna get a point.
Yeah.
The Rangers.
Yeah.
Capitals.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
Oh, I'm gonna go
If he gets a point there, though, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Arizona.
29. I'm going 29.
And then Colorado, who's decimated by injury. Then St. Louis again. Then Seattle, who we talked about. They've been really good, by the way. That's why Shane Wright hasn't been getting into games. It's because they are trying to win because they somehow can right now.
Yeah, they are third in their division right now.
Third in the division? I thought they must have lost recently because I'm pretty sure they were either 1 or 2 in the division like a couple days ago.
LA is above them and they won last night. So that
okay, so there you go. There it is. But yeah, then so he could carry this on for a while.
They're 1 point back and they have 4 games in hand on LA.
Yeah, I was looking yesterday at the standings actually, and I was like, damn, the Leafs are literally tied for third, or they are in sole possession of third in the NHL. And I was like, yeah, we also have 3 games more played than Boston does.
Yeah.
So we're 18-5-6. Boston's 21-4-1.
That's disgusting. I hate Boston so much. Fuck them.
Yeah, they are. They're nobody likes Boston. Anyway.
Nobody.
So yeah, I didn't really get a chance to focus in on Mitch Marner earlier, so I kind of want to do it now, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
The thing about Mitch Marner that's really impressive is I would still consider him to be one of the most important parts of this team if he hadn't registered a single point over the past 22 games.
He's not good, eh?
What he does away from the puck, first of all, his penalty killing ability, it's sometimes funny to watch, like what he does to guys, like the mind games that he plays with guys when they're trying to get set up on the power play or they're trying to take the puck from him. Like last night, I forget who it was on Calgary, but he had a guy literally wanting to swing his stick as hard as he could at his head. So I'm going to stand up and do a demonstration. So I'm left-handed, so I have to do it on this way. Mitch is right-handed. So he's on the boards, like there's boards right here, okay?
Yeah.
And he's got the puck right here, and he's like kind of just drifting towards the red line from their blue line. Guy kind of starts following him, trying to remember, penalty kill. Trying to take the puck from him. Mitch does like the ODR move where you go boards, spin this way, and gone. Like it was unreal. Like it was unbelievable. Like just and it's funny. Obviously, I'm not saying that he is Wayne Gretzky. That is not at all what I am saying here. But Wayne Gretzky wasn't the best shooter, wasn't the fastest skater, didn't have the best hands. What Wayne Gretzky did was he saw the ice like he was an eagle flying above it. And he just knew where everybody was always going to be, the play they were going to make, right? That's what made Wayne Gretzky so good. That's what Mitch Marner does. Mitch isn't the best shooter. He doesn't have the best hands. He's got good hands. He's got a good shot. He's not the best skater. But his anticipation of plays and what people are going to do and moves that they're going to make, places they're going to try to make passes, set him apart from, especially in his ability to kill penalties, his ability to make passes on the power play. When he gets space, you're fucked. Like, there's nothing you can do. If he has space and time, he will find a way around you. It's just, he'll find a way to take, and that's why the other thing too about the penalty kill, like, he'll just buzz around. You don't even know he's there, so you try to make a pass, and then all of a sudden he's one on zero against your goalie, like 1-on-1 with the goalie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, he's that kind of guy. And he's also playing like 22 minutes a night, which is just outrageous for a forward. Like, he's playing power play, penalty kill. He's playing with Austin Matthews. He's double shifting on the third line with when somebody's hurt. Like, anytime somebody's hurt, Mitch.
Well, he was playing defense at one point in the year, was he not?
Yes. It's insane the things that kid can do. And he's worth every penny of that $10.893 million. Like, every penny, man. I've thought it for so long, and I've always thought that he got disrespected. He is one of the best players in the league. I don't want to hear anything about the best duo being McDavid and Draisaitl, because it isn't. It just isn't. At least mine can play defense.
I mean, at least the other duo, McDavid and Draisaitl, can get out of the first round.
Shut up.
I gotta play devil's advocate on that one. Sorry.
Okay, fair enough. But it's just, I don't know, man. Mitch Marner. When's the last time you ever saw Mitch Marner even considered for a Hart vote?
No, not last year was McJesus.
When we talk about the top 10, top 15 players in the league, when people talk about that, for some reason he gets left out of the conversation. I don't know why. And he's showing this year. I never want to see another, like, from any professional. Their literal, like, what is it? Their credentials should be stripped from them if they ever release a top 10 list without Mitch Marner on it again. Seriously. That's how good he's been this year.
Yeah, no, I see, like, I don't know, like, for me, like, as a Habs fan too, like, he's been a top 10 player in the league for the last, like, 3 years, probably.
Yeah, like since because to me, not only should he be Hart vote, I haven't been watching a lot of Boston this year, so I don't know how Bergeron's doing. I cannot think of anybody else who should beat Mitch Marner for the Selke. That's insane if somebody else beats Mitch Marner for the Selke. He played defense. He literally lined up on the blue line. Last night in that overtime, we felt comfortable going with no defenseman because Mitch Marner was out there. Even if it's 4-on-3 in overtime, we felt comfortable because Mitch Marner was out there. We don't need Rasmus Sandin or Timmy Liljegren. And when Morgan Rielly comes back, we don't need him out there either. Put those four out there. You know which four. Put those four out there. Mitch, play the point. Good. Do what you want. That's how you play that. They played it perfectly. They played it absolutely perfectly. But they were able to play it perfectly because of the confidence that everybody has in Mitch. His teammates, his coach, his fans, the GM, everybody. There isn't a situation you don't want that kid playing. There just isn't.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like, 5-on-3. Mitch, you're the forward. Like, 4-on-5. Like, whatever it is, Mitch. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
And the Leafs have never had a guy like that where it's just get out there and do everything.
So I'm not gonna say skill level is the same, but like Nick Suzuki is that for the Habs. That guy he can just play him anywhere, do anything. I mean, we haven't seen him play D yet, but like that's even Marner playing D is fucking absurd, right? Like
it's blasphemous, and he did get walked, but anyway.
But yeah, no, like it's a special thing to have a player that you can just like, doesn't matter the situation, the circumstances, it's just like he's out there, we're fine.
Yeah, beginning of the game, end of the game, middle of the game, penalty kill, power play, 5-on-5, 5-on-3, 3-on-5, like,
yeah.
You know, it's almost like, yeah, when he's not out there, you're like, whoa, what's going on? Why isn't he out there? Like, but for everything, anyway, that's enough about that. It just, I had to, because I didn't give him enough flowers. I haven't been giving him enough flowers. This kid is on a franchise record 22-game point streak, man. Like, I can't imagine thinking as a child, like, first of all, to even have a chance to play for them, for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, when he scored the goal to make it 21, I remember it was the clap bomb. Do you know the goal I'm talking about? Clap bomb bar down on Jonathan Quick. It was an unbelievable shot. And just the way he kind of, like, after he scored, he looked at the crowd and he realized, like, I'm continuing to set the franchise record for most point streak by a Toronto Maple Leaf. Like, like goosebumps. Like, I get goosebumps for him, you know, to be able to do that. Like, not only, and what he means to this team, like I said, he's does everything for us. Like, it's just, I can't imagine that feeling, how he's feeling right now. I'm so happy for him. He deserves every second of every piece of credit he's getting, and he deserves every penny of his contract too. And that's that.
All right, I got one more fill in the blank for you.
Sorry, I went off there. I had to.
Hey, no. The whole point of that was so you could talk about Mitch.
Okay.
So I just want to keep this one short because we're running at about 50 minutes here. Pierre Engvall should have been suspended blank games for his high stick.
I think it was fair.
Okay.
I think it was fair.
He got 2?
He got tossed from the game that it happened in and won.
Yeah, okay.
So 2 is how I look at that anyway. He got 5 and tossed. By the way, Mitch Marner played like 4 minutes of that 5-minute penalty, and we killed it off. Because he's just outrageous. Like, in that one, too, like,
I didn't mean this to circle back to Mitch Marner.
No, I'm sorry, but, like, at one point in that, he, like, just skated around the ice for a solid minute with the puck and, like, skated it back into our end, passed it to the D-man, got it back, skated it down into the, like, we're talking in a fucking penalty kill scenario. Skates it down that. Like, it's just crazy. Anyway, that's enough. But, yeah, I think Engvall, as Sheldon Keefe so diligently and so eloquently put, we've all watched Pierre Engvall play for a long time. Pierre Engvall doesn't try to hurt people. He should. He should try to put guys in the fourth row. He's 6'5", 215, but he doesn't. So could we stop pretending that he tried to hurt somebody? Like, seriously?
It definitely looked a lot more accidental, but you still can't fucking do that.
No, you can't do that. You have to have control of your stick. And when you're a player like Pierre Engvall who doesn't really contribute a lot, you can't be doing that. You just can't. You can't be putting, because in the same game, he took a 4-minute high sticking penalty as well. When you're Pierre Engvall, you can't do that.
No, you absolutely cannot have 9 minutes and a game and toss for a game.
No. Anyway, that's enough about that. And Dursey also kind of sold that. Did he not?
Like a little bit, but like he definitely got fucking high stick in the face. Like
no,
head,
it wasn't the face. It was the back. It was the back.
Like he got it in the head. Like he definitely got fucking high stick in the head.
Yeah.
But like
also, props to the Scotiabank Arena for absolutely giving it to him every time he touched the puck after that. Well, he had 200 friends and family in attendance. First game ever playing in the Scotiabank Arena, his hometown team. And the fans just gave it to him.
Good.
It was awesome. Good. It was honestly awesome. Like, credit to them. Credit to him. Mom's a rocket. But anyway.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, so
she was loving it. Like whenever he touched the puck, he was getting booed. Honestly, you could tell he was feeding off the energy. She was loving it. The family was loving it, so it didn't feel too bad, but it was pretty funny. Like every time he touched the puck, it was just like boo. It was wild. It's right, honestly the past couple of weeks is the most lively. Last night when Mitch extended the streak and they announced it,
oh yeah,
the crowd went crazy. First time the past couple of weeks, most lively I've seen that building in a long time. So good to see.
Always.
Yeah.
All right. So you have Anaheim and the Rangers and Tampa this week.
Anaheim, Rangers, Tampa Saturday night. Is that what it was? Yeah,
I think.
Anaheim. No, Capitals Saturday night. Tampa Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. In Washington and in New York, we host the Ducks tomorrow at 7, so I don't have to stay up till 10 p.m. to watch it.
Nice. So the Habs host Calgary tomorrow. We go to Ottawa on Wednesday, and then we are back at home for the Ducks on Thursday and the Lightning on Saturday. So busy week for Montreal.
Yeah. Did you say there were some back-to-backs in there? Sorry.
Yes, we go in Ottawa Wednesday, and then back in Montreal against Anaheim on Thursday.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, good luck to the Habs this week. You'll need it. And here's to Mitch Marner extending the point streak to 29. And here's to the Leafs extending their streak, in which they have gone, I believe last night was the 14th straight game that they at least secured a point. Which dates back about 6 weeks.
I'll say, yeah, it's been like well over a month since their last regulation loss.
Yeah. The last regulation loss was
the Pittsburgh
to the Pittsburgh Penguins on November 11th. So actually, it's exactly a month.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So yeah, since then we beat Vancouver, beat Pittsburgh, lost to the Devils in OT, beat Buffalo, lost to the Islanders in OT, beat the Devils, beat the Wild, beat the Penguins, beat the Red Wings, beat the Sharks, lost to the Lightning in OT, beat the Stars, beat the Kings, beat the Flames in OT. So pretty good run. Pretty good run. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it for this episode, unless you have anything else you want to get off your chest.
Just quick. I gotta pull something up. Just a 2-second. Marie-Philip Poulin won Canada's Athlete of the Year. Props to her.
First female hockey player to win it, which was a little bit surprising to me.
Seriously, like, I mean, I think back, like, Haley Wickenheiser never won it. Like, Cassie Campbell
that's
never
kind of
won it. Like,
that's exactly where my mind went, is how did Haley Wickenheiser never win that?
Yeah. But yeah, no, shout out to Marie-Philip Poulin for winning that. Definitely deserved it.
MPP, the GOAT.
All right, that's it. I'm good.
Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Fantasy.
Oh, yeah, shit. Oh. Fucking Tage Thompson put up a goddamn 60-point night for me with 5 goals and an assist. Thank you very much, Mr. Thompson. He's disgusting, Abe.
Insane. And want to know what is even more insane? His coach, Don Granato, played him 4 minutes in the third period. After he put up 6 points through the first 2. Chase history. Chase history. Go for that 7 goals.
As a fan of the game and like of playing, like I get what he was doing, but as a guy with Tage Thompson on my fantasy team, I was fuming. But currently I am clapping Jaeger bombs by about 150 points, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, it sure is. Matchup, show league matchup. So yes, I am beating Will, who I do not believe pays attention to this whatsoever.
No.
Yes, you are smoking Jaeger bombs. You are projected to finish with 494 points, which is not even way higher than anybody else's projected totals.
That's the Tage Thompson effect.
Yep, we have North Korea, the first place. I didn't realize Trev was in first place, but it was beaten up on Flams a little bit there. We got Iman beaten up on Lucas pretty hard. And a pretty tight one between Noah Gretzky's and Leafs and Bounds, which was changed drastically due to William Nylander's 5-point night last night in favor of Leafs and Bounds. Michaela watching that game last night was like, yeah! It's funny. Like every time Nylander would get a point, she'd be like, yeah! And he also has Marner, who got 2 points. So
how did he end up with Nylander and Marner?
Because he picked them early.
Oh.
Like, I think Marner might have been his first overall pick.
I mean, Marner top 10 is not a bad pick at all.
No. But that's what I mean when I say he gets disrespected.
Yeah.
Most people don't think
in my
like
other
that.
fantasy league, I fucking took Marner, I think, at 8 or 9 with my first pick.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
But like, that's what I mean. Like, he's an 8 or 9 point getter. But he's also a top defensive forward in the league. Like, how is he not like a top 5 guy? You know what I mean?
Well, I think he's not a top 5 guy just because that the top 5 is just stupid, really.
But I would argue that. I would argue that.
I would say
it's an argument for another day, but I would argue that. Just because of his defensive ability.
Okay, let's do this like. We're at 58 right now, so we've got like 2 minutes here. He's probably, if I had to rank players in the league, probably like 6 or 7, if we're being honest. I think that, like, I just don't think he tracks top 5 because top 5 is just like it's McDavid, Matthews.
I know we do this all the time, but yes, you're gonna go McDavid, Matthews, or 1-2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Draisaitl?
I was gonna go Makar, but
okay, Makar. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, then I was gonna say
Makar, then Draisaitl. I'd rather have Mitch Marner than Leon Draisaitl or Nathan MacKinnon.
See, so I would not, but I would say that he's probably number 6 and behind those guys.
I see. That's where we're still differing a little bit. Is you're right. The top 3, like, I'd rather have on my team Matthews, McDavid, Makar. Obviously, those 3 are just ridiculous hockey players. But next, I'm taking Mitch Marner out of anybody in the league. Seriously. Sidney Crosby, Nathan MacKinnon, like, anybody. I'm taking him. just because, like you said, he's a top 10 guy in points every year. And to me, he's the best defensive forward in the league. Better than Bergeron. And it's just because Bergeron's getting older. That's all. But better than Bergeron defensively. And he's a top 10 point getter in the league. Come on. What more do you want from a guy?
Yeah, no, I can't argue with you. I just think, you know, like the old school, like the Chell fantasy draft, like, you know, when you would fucking like build your team, like I think Mitch Marner would be, if I had to like go with like pick guys in order, like he'd probably be like 6. And again, this being the 6th best player in the NHL is not, that's no disrespect at all. Like,
no,
like he's the 6th best hockey player in the world. Like,
yes, no, I know.
I just happen to think there are 5 guys that are better than him. Like, that's not.
Yeah, I would say
no disrespect.
I would say there's only 3, and that's it. That's all.
All right.
And one of them plays on his team, my team, which just makes me so unbelievably happy. Also, one more thing before we get off this episode. Shout out Beebs, who was at the game on Tuesday against LA and tried to inconspicuously sit in the crowd while wearing the most ridiculous bright pink sunglasses and Care Bear jacket that I've ever seen in my life. And literally, he was a man of the people, though. He sat in lower bowl. Was not in a box. Like, he literally was lower bowl and was absolutely fired up when Mitch Marner hit 21 games. It was wild. Anyway, thank you to everybody for listening. Gitano, you're done for today.
Yep, we're good.
Absolutely. Thank you to everybody for listening. Thank you to the Game Entertainment and Media. Merry Christmas to everybody. We'll start saying that now, even though we have another episode. Ooh, it looks like we're supposed to do an episode on Christmas Day, so that one's probably going to get postponed. It looks like we have one.
We'll probably record earlier in that week and then just have it released on Christmas Day.
Fair enough. So yeah, we'll start saying it now. Merry Christmas. I hope everybody's got lots of plans with lots of family, and you spend lots of good time with them. Thank you to the Game Entertainment and Media for hosting us. If I haven't already said that, this was episode 75. Talk to you next week.